Oh, look, I should have showed this to you. I'm
Ah,
almost
shit.
done.
Hold on.
Do you
I'll listen. I just gotta get water.
My Shire Lego set is on the foosball table behind me because my son put it there because he has commandeered the office because he has 2 friends staying over for, like, a week. So they've claimed the office, so he moved it so they didn't destroy it because 'cause they're teenage boys and they're dumb. But yeah, my Hobbit.
Well, it's good that you are in there. Good foresight. To be in this office here.
See?
See, it
See?
all came
See?
around. Just like waiting on Lost. You waited long enough, you had a really satisfying ending.
Mhm. Well, I don't know if Lost had a satisfying ending.
That was the joke.
This is satisfying.
Fucking donkey.
Okay, you ready? All right. Dang, bro, you look like you got a little sunburn this weekend.
Yeah, man, that sun snuck up on me. Didn't even think to put on sunscreen.
So where were you?
San Francisco.
Oh, nice. But where did you get the sunburn?
San Francisco.
Bro, you already said that.
Well, yeah, that's where I was when I got burned.
Okay. Seriously though, where'd you get the sunburn?
I was on the beach.
Where?
In San Francisco.
Bro, there's no sun in San Francisco and there's definitely no beaches.
I found both of those things in San Francisco this weekend.
Okay, funny guy. What's the beach called?
Ocean Beach.
See? None of this is real.
Okay, fine. I was in LA.
Nice.
You just burned into the 3 Burn Gamer Show. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
And this is Peterson.
And I found sun, and apparently the clouds don't do shit. You're like, oh, there's clouds. I'm
Cloudy,
fine.
it'll be fine.
I'm fine. We're good guys. We're good guys.
Listen,
I have a V-neck burn.
You do have a V-neck
I was in a jacket all day, but I guess I should have worn a hat.
Nope, should have worn a hat too. Yeah, you got a little
fucking lobster, dude.
Listen, I do have one San Francisco beach story.
You
On
went down
family
to Ocean
vacation,
Beach?
I was 14. We were like, "Oh, this looks like a good beach." This is pre-smartphone. So we're just like, "Look, there's a beach down there. Let's stop." We parked, worked our way down quite a ways down to this beach. We're hanging out, me and my family. I'm a kid, right? And so no one's there. All of a sudden, people start showing up. We turn around, naked people. It was a nude beach. And we didn't know that. It wasn't marked anywhere. It was just known that this was a nude beach. And there was fully nude men sunbathing right behind me. I was, I don't know, 12, 13.
How many times you told this story to your therapist?
None.
Oh,
listen, almost every family vacation we went on, we'd end up seeing naked people.
You ended up in a nude. You're like, I don't know. It's just such a coincidence.
We went to some hot springs. Bunch of Europeans showed up.
Naked.
It was like a thing. My mom was always like, "Oh no," and we're like, "Yeah, we just saw more naked people on this trip again."
Yeah, no, I went to the beach in San Francisco, not the nude one.
Nobody was naked?
No.
Dude, you went to the wrong one.
And I pointed out, I was telling my brother, because I found a smash burger place there that I'll be talking about later.
That's why you went.
Yeah, that's where I went. And I was like, well, I told my brothers, like, let's go watch the Great Highway, which also sounds made up. The Great Highway
on Ocean Beach.
It's closed. Yeah, right next to Ocean Beach. They closed it down in the pandemic, and then they made it permanent. So, because the sand dunes just kept blowing over it, they had to clean it off 27 times a year. And they're like, why don't we just close this? That's annoying. Yeah. And now people just like a boardwalk. People just walk up and down. It's so nice, but you can also get sunburned there.
Yeah,
even if you're wearing a jacket. TIL. Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. All right. Our news this week is brought to us by Crave Cookies. Yeah. Crave!
I didn't know you were going to throw that in there. I premature that.
I will only hold it against you for a while.
I do feel bad.
But you are going to get docked pay for the special
Crave!
studio.
I didn't know you were still talking.
Oh shoot! Yeah, it's okay. I just add these up.
So sorry.
These are all just deductions.
Okay, no, do your thing.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I'll just talk about Crave here a little bit.
Crave!
Yeah,
that
we
one fit.
nailed it. We nailed it. Crave Cookies got a bunch of new cookies every week, every Friday, but we publish on Tuesday. So we give you a sneak peek of the week. Sneak peek of the week. We've got Campfire S'mores, still our monthly cookie. We've got Biscoff Explosion, your absolute favorite. Chilled Cookies and Cream. God, this is an all-stars week. Chocolate Lava, which has a chunk of chocolate ganache in the middle. Baked Butter Beer. And, of course, your local favorite, whatever Crave you're at, it'll have its own local favorite. And you guys just pressure whoever's there. Just tell them what you want. So the whole thing is like it's supposed to serve you as the community. So go find the owner. Go find just any employee.
Walk into the store, demand.
Don't walk,
Rockstar.
strut into the store
and be like, I need one in the next 20 minutes, or I am going to give bad Yelp review.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay. We
Okay.
do it for you. It's coming up. Actually, yeah, the new local favorite's coming out this next week. My store, my employees picked, of all things, pumpkin coffee cake.
Oh, I'm in for that. That sounds good
It's
to me.
really good.
Yeah.
Strange July pick. I guess
Yeah, not
August
really
pick.
a July cookie.
I guess August will be like
we're still
ready.
like 2.5 months early.
No, dude, my kids get it. It's like how you see Halloween decorations already.
Yeah.
This is we're getting the fall cookies in August.
Yeah.
So get on down to Crave Cookies and get your pumpkin on.
Nice.
Hasbro, the company behind D&D, Monopoly, and Magic the Gathering, has joined the rest of the gaming industry in freaking out about overspending.
Well,
This isn't, we knew. This actually comes to us from LL Whoops on Discord. He sent this story, which is great. I didn't see it anywhere else, so good find. These guys, if you remember, you might not, because I had to go back through our old notes. 2021.
Oh,
when
really?
They first announced the 6 new game studios that they opened in 2022.
That one doesn't seem like as long for me. I was like,
I know, it blew my mind. I know, it blew my mind.
That is crazy.
Because we get like a check-in every couple of years on this one, so it kind of feels right. You're like, oh yeah, Hasbro's a thing still. So they make these 6 new game studios in 2022. They're gonna do like G.I. Joe games, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering. Their core IPs. They're gonna turn into video games internally, which I don't know that I'd jump if I mean, even with pandemic era spending, I don't know if I would have done that. Because you could have definitely just thrown your licenses around tons of people that would have liked to use them. But anyway, so they're like, we're going to do it internally. Then we reported that 2 years later, they canceled 5 game projects. So this was in January of 2023. And then they followed that up, of course, with a bunch of layoffs. And they, at the time, were they just were like, oh, this is just normal game industry stuff. They really dismissed this as like a problem.
They're like, yeah, it's just a few people. Like, it'll be
That's
fine.
what we do. And as of 2024, Hasbro had invested over $1 billion in game development across 4 studios: Invoke, Atomic Arcade, Skeleton Key, and Archetype. Are those studios that you've never heard of because they never put anything out?
Making games.
But honestly, even since they closed those, or they shut down those games, they have been out there beating the drum saying, hey, video games are a huge part of our strategy, like moving forward. It's always going to be, and none of them are going to be live service, which was a cool rallying cry, honestly. But we just, we just haven't seen anything. And recently, some folks over at Kotaku sniffed out that there was a write-down in their latest earning results that seems to indicate that they've significantly devalued their gaming studios on their books.
Oh boy.
Which is to say, when they look at the gaming studios that they own and they're estimating, I guess, the value that they market value they might see, they are estimating that quite a bit lower, which isn't a great sign. And they are also making moves toward co-development, co-publishing for their existing properties. So think digitized board games, trading card games, that type of shit. Quick wins, which you and I talk about all the time, which is how I would have started. A couple quick wins before you go all in with 6 new studios that are all going to make single player, non-live service titles. I mean, those are all long tail things you don't just jump into. Because you think about it, Monopoly Go has made them literally billions of
Yeah,
dollars.
that game is killing it.
And Baldur's Gate 3 made a mint in its own right, and that's, you know, one of their properties. And so those are co-developed or published games that they didn't make in-house. And so those are things that I think they're going to look to refocus on, but they are still invested in 2 games that might survive this whole maelstrom, called Exodus and Warlock. And this is like the whole ball game, folks. Like these don't work out. If they both flop majorly, even if one of them flops and one does okay, I think we're done. I think Hasbro is going to throw in the towel and they'll just start licensing their, which isn't, I mean, they have a great between just Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering, that alone, I mean, that would have Embracer at your door 5 years ago with a sack of cash. We don't even care if you can make them. We just want those names.
We just want them, yeah.
So they give those out. They farm out those licenses. They're in a good spot. They got a very firm foundation, as they're mixed. It's a mixed media company, and they have fallbacks in their board game division and stuff. Like I can see how this dragged on so long. They're like, we're fine, actually. Like, they kind of are. But at the same time, I think if you're going to be if you're going to be, look at smart investments, yes, it does make sense to cut bait when things are shit. But at the same time, maybe you do double down and you see that gap in the industry that you have a competitive advantage, where like Microsoft is being weighed down by AI, Sony's being weighed down by everything else that Sony's doing. But Hasbro's just kind of this island, this thing unto themselves, where they can just like kind of do whatever the fuck they want.
Like their bread and butter is games and toys.
Just fun. Yeah. And toys. So, yeah, they got a lot of
like they've got some room. Their mistake, in my opinion, in this one is going too hard with too much. Was it 5-6 game studios? You know what I mean? Like, I think,
and it was too late.
You need
2018. That would have been an okay investment
if they would have already had a bunch of games in work. But like, if you're starting from scratch with that many people, you're going to spend $1 billion and see nothing years later. Like, we know that's what it's going to look like right now. So I think you're right. These guys who want to get in, they're trying to make a blockbuster hit on their very first try. These guys need to slow it down a little bit, because this is risky and expensive.
Yeah.
This isn't just making a movie. Like, making a movie's hard, but like, isn't making a movie where it is like you get the people together, you've got the script, and you can start going and you know what you're doing.
Right.
This is like, you need a new idea. You need to figure out how to make it work, and then have programmers just all working slightly differently, doing stuff and making it all fit together. Like, it is not easy. And these guys, especially when these big, huge AAA types of games they want to do, and they just keep trying to go all in on this, and it's like failing over and over and over.
I read an interesting opinion piece. I think it was either on IGN or Kotaku about Fallout, the original Fallout, and how that was made as like a side project during lunch breaks, as a passion project that these guys were working on, and it wasn't really ever greenlit by Interplay. They just made it because it was fun and they were having an enjoyable time. And the whole
game they wanted
edict on that was that we want a game that resembles tabletop games, tabletop strategy games.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we'll make a digital version of that. That's the direction I think they should have gone. It's not just the analogous. It shouldn't just be a game. This should be a game that synergizes well with the rest of your brand. But at the same time, you need to find small, doable games that your devs, sounds like they're kind of new or fresh, can get out quick, because they're passionate about it and they're psyched on it. Not something that you're like, oh, I want this game. You go brand new studio, figure out how to make that from scratch.
Yeah. I bet right now, I mean, we should have done this as a segment today. I didn't even think about it until right now. Like, I bet if you and I sat down for an hour and looked over Hasbro properties, we could come up with something
Oh,
interesting,
Shark
an
Tank that.
interesting type
We
of
should start
game.
doing a Shark Tank.
Yeah,
Because then we can just send that little
that
nugget
little
as a
clip to them and be like,
package
"Listen, dum-dums."
and be like, "We'll just take a 10% royalty on whatever game you make here."
Yeah, that's it, just 10%. That's not even that
Be
much
like,
if you
one of
think
us
about
can literally predict the future, so
it. We've got a clip because he does it all the
uh,
time.
I mean, why would we have the clip if it wasn't true?
Yeah.
Why do I have the clip, Bart? The used game market was worth $7.2 billion last year, but because Sony didn't get any of that, they're taking their ball and going home. Yeah, yeah. That's basically what this boils down to. Sony can't. They're looking at that and they're just grumpy they can't get it. This was an analysis done by Data Intello, who is a firm that analyzes consumer trends. I have not seen them before. This report was hit and miss, I will say. So take this whole thing with a grain of salt because it could all just be bullshit. They made some dubious claims, especially about Game Pass and Game Pass's utility and profitability for game developers, which we have reported on the exact opposite on this show. But otherwise, there was some interesting
Well, I
facts to
think
be
it's
found
funny
here.
because I think there's, like, stories for both directions, right? There are some
Yeah.
games that do well because 'cause they're on Game Pass and some that do worse because they're on Game Pass.
And maybe we are both cherry picking here. We're cherry picking. These guys are cherry picking. But they found that global secondhand game platform market was valued at $7.2 billion in 2025. And by their estimates, it's expected to reach 13.8 billion by 2034, which in terms of video game growth seems small over 8 years. But then you realize, like, yeah, because this moves like Sony, I think they're baking into their analysis. The console segment was the largest platform share on this, was 42.3%. I don't know what the rest is. Can you sell? Wouldn't that be cool if you could sell old Steam games? I go through all my backlog or whatever. I'm like, just put these on the open
Just listed on
market.
the market for $2.
Yeah. So, but I'd only get like, I don't know, like 50, 60 cents of that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it go back to the dev, some to go to Steam, but at
I
least
would
they get
love that.
something.
I would love
Yeah.
that so much.
Yeah. I would not mind that. And then Steam would still get some rather than they just sit there and rot. And then you go to the open market to buy a new game, and if there's a ton of copies of it, you know it's shit. North America's regional revenue was 36.8 of all of the world share. So huge chunk of those used games are being sold here in the US. And estimates put as much as a third of all game sales were used games. That's what jumped out to me on this one. That's why I put it here, because I thought that was so fascinating. Is that I don't think we took this into account because I kept citing the 10 to 15% of people that still buy physical games. That's what we keep seeing. That's what PlayStation cites. That's what Xbox cites. But that doesn't take this into account because it's just like that stat I hear all the time that, 50% of all marriages end in divorce. And you're like, yeah, but how many of those that's not talking about first marriages, because that bakes in people that have the third or a fourth or a fifth that are like repeat offenders essentially. And that seems like the same thing here, is that they're like, yeah, on that first time game sale, 15% of people at the register are buying physical versus digital, but we're not taking into account that there may be a game that is bought and sold 4 times. And so what this does, and I know this sounds silly because I keep griping about it, but it's one thing to keep in mind, is that this drives people out of games because it screws up affordability. If you are someone that relies on, I play FIFA every year, but I get it used for $40 a couple months after it comes out, and you can't do that anymore. What do you do? Do you pony up or do you just not buy it? Because I mean, the used markdown is significant enough that if people are like living on that, and say it costs 40 and you play it for a little bit, you bring it back and you get 10 when you sell it back, that game essentially cost you 30 instead of 80. So those are the things that I think make this such a big deal to a lot of people. Whereas people are, they're they're like, who cares? Like you, and I think a lot of people who only buy their games online are just like, who cares? Why don't they? Why is everyone so up in arms about this? Oh, just must be just a really loud minority. I really think it's people that may not be able to play games, period, if this happens. And that's who we're not taking into account. And I think shrinking the game industry in any way, shape, or form is bad for the game industry. I know it's a hot take, but that's my hot take, my spicy hot take. Oh, wow. So controversial.
I think, but one of the problems is, and you kind of touched on this, is that there's no incentive for PlayStation to do a physical version of a game anymore because they don't get any part of that secondhand market. It's like what you say with Pokemon cards. Like, just make more, because Pokemon, the company, is not getting any benefit of that secondhand market, right? And used games are kind of the same way. Like, they're not going to suffer from it. I don't think they'll notice a huge difference, but it's hard to say because things have not been going super well for these companies anyway. Yeah. So I think it'll be hard to notice a big difference. And so it'll be interesting to see what this does they're
going to push in $100 prices because no one's going to have a choice. That's going to be it. And then they'll do affirm payments. So everyone buys a game $25 at a time. That's the future. You guys are going to love it. But it doesn't matter because you have no choice.
And then we just keep playing indies. I don't think indies ever go that route, and indies never die. I think we'll just keep doing indies forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause it's like they're like, well, how come no one's going to the movie theater anymore? And you're like, I don't know. I can just buy it on Amazon.
It costs $40 for a ticket now.
Yeah. And I can just get it on Amazon for $18 and my whole family can watch it for $18. It's going to be the same type of thing. Like, I can just get this indie game for $15 instead of getting this, trying out this AAA game for $80, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how things go. I am super interested to see what happens to this market because during the life cycle of our podcast, which is like 9 years or something like that, we have seen so much change in companies. We've seen change in strategies. We've seen changes in the market itself.
Like the rise and fall of Xbox Live or Xbox.
It's been super interesting.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Japan's patent office is officially fed up with Nintendo's endless patent trolling of Palworld. They're done. They're fed up.
They're done.
They're so sick of this. They're like, this can't be all we do. This can't be my life. This can't be something where one company is so rich they just gum up the entire court system with patent lawsuits.
They're like, why do I have to know so much about Palworld?
I
didn't know so much about this.
So they rejected Nintendo's most recent patent of a quote in-game monster capturing system. This has been the core of so much of the lawsuits and them going after Palworld. And the JPO, Japan's patent office, they released as part of their rejection a gameplay video that happened to include an indie fan game called Pokemon Generations. So they release this big old package. This is why we're rejecting your application or whatever, your plea or whatever. And here's like all these different examples of why. And one of them included this clip from Pokemon Generations, and Nintendo's lawyers flipped
they didn't like that
out like it was some huge gotcha. They're like, whoa, this isn't our product, this is a copyright violation, blah blah blah. They freak out like it's gonna change everything. Like, this is if a cop comes up to your car and mispronounces your name on your driver's license, you actually get off free. Like, no, the law's the same. Sorry, I guess the court made a small mistake. So Nintendo says Ash, Pikachu, and Pokeball should be properly referred to as, quote, a character infringing upon Ash, and, quote, a character infringing upon Pikachu, and, quote, a character infringing upon Pokeballs, respectively. That's like the shit that Nintendo's lawyers are laughing about.
Yeah.
In the onsen after work. They're just like, this is hilarious. The shit we get paid to do. So Japan's patent office comes back and says accuracy should take precedence. In that case, the notice would need to use cumbersome descriptions such as an object in the form of a small animal instead of Pokemon, or an object in the form of a boy wearing a red cap instead of Ash, or an object in the form of a small yellow animal instead of Pikachu, or an object in the form of a small green animal instead of Bulbasaur, and a spherical object with a red upper half and a white lower half instead of Pokeball. It goes on. They say, however, even with such rephrasing, the logical structure of the grounds of refusal remain unchanged. Therefore, this argument has no bearing on determining inventive step. So they didn't need to say any of that. They could have just said, fuck you. Yeah, court made a mistake. We'll strike it. It doesn't matter.
This is them just ranting a tiny bit. Just a little.
And so yeah, Nintendo's lawyers go nuts trying to nitpick and the order, and then the examiner is like, no, it doesn't matter. Just drop it. Just drop it. They're so fed up. I mean,
they're so tired of this.
Everyone is. Like, I understand to an extent defending your trademarks and copyrights. But this is obviously well beyond that. We all know. Nintendo knows. Everyone knows. It's not like there's any argument to be made here other than Nintendo are being assholes.
Like, we know what Pokemon is, and we know that like what Pal World is. Like,
it's like a little different, and it kind of rips it off.
It's not like
everything rips off everything.
Like, do you think Pokemon is losing revenue because of Pal World?
No, because anyone that is playing Pal World is playing Pal World explicitly for one reason. Because Pokemon never made a game like that.
Because they just,
everyone wants it. Not the gun part, but everything else about that. People have been asking Pokemon to make for 30 years, and they're like, no. How about another crappy 2D one that sucks? How about one with like terrible animations and we just phone it in? Okay, we'll just do that for another 10 years. So Pal World comes along and fills the gap, and now Nintendo freaks out.
You can't do that.
But they're not losing any players on this because everyone that's buying Pal World is like me, throwing in the towel on Pokemon.
Well, I mean, and I feel like if you are really, really into it, like this is like a filler for when the next Pokemon game comes out. You're like, I'll play that one too.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think they've lost any revenue because Pal World exists. I don't think they've lost a single thing.
No. The unsung heroes of game development, contractors, are facing their own apocalypse. This was Kotaku, an article. They were talking to contractors from Activision that had worked formerly or are working currently with Activision, Epic Games, Bungie, and Microsoft. And I mea culpa. Honestly, when we've been talking about layoffs for the last 4 years, I never once considered contractors as part of that aren't being counted. I guess I always just, if you'd ask me, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's part of it. No.
They don't typically report on those numbers.
That's the beauty of having contractors. You don't have to write. You don't have to. Do you even have to do a warn notice?
No, you just terminate a contract. Yeah,
killer. So this is, tens of thousands of cuts since 2022, and of those, I'm sure the contractors were the first to go. Now I know they always are back because they're like, oh, now someone needs to make the game, but they're definitely making less, and there's fewer of them. And also, worse still, is any contractors that are looking for more contract work are now competing with all the full-time employees that were just laid off. So it's a double apocalypse. So often entire departments, this is explained in the Kotaku article, like QA, are nothing but contractors. Localization, usually it's entirely contractors. So those are just gone. I mean, the article talks about how they were using, the one company, they were using shitty AI to do the translations. And then they were offering to pay the same contract translators lower proofreading rates. So like, we're going to have AI do a shit job, and then you guys come in and just like do it again, and we'll pay you less, and you don't have any options
because it's already done.
It's already done.
Part of it's already done. You see,
we just copied and pasted it. You guys just need to go and clean it up a little bit.
That doesn't seem like less work, if I'm being 100% honest.
Seems like worse and more work. And can you imagine what that's going to do for scripts? Like, they're not going to make sense. I mean, you've heard that all the time. You've seen things like yourself when people from another country send you something, or you're seeing things on, like, when you were talking to your Uber driver or your DoorDash driver, and they send you a message, and it's like, that kind of makes sense. Imagine
I
that
think I
in
can
your
get
game.
there.
Imagine how jarring that's going to be in your game. So, AAA game studios sometimes use thousands of contractors. I think League of Legends was one of those. I think World of Warcraft relied on thousands of contractors. They don't get benefits. They have low wages. They have no job security. As Peterson said, you just let them go or end their contract whenever it's convenient for you.
Yep.
And they're usually close to minimum wage. So lots of them feel, in this article they were talking to a number of them, they all felt like, hey, I felt like my job was really stable, actually, despite all of this. Like they survived, waves and waves and waves of layoffs, and they're in here in 2026. They're thinking, I think I'm through the worst of it. And then another storm comes along and they get laid off and they have no idea. They did not see it coming. And this is my favorite quote in the whole thing. One person even told me a recruiter reached out to them to try to hire them for the job they had just been cut from. So you fire them and then you hire them back at half the rate. Dude, so that's just one thing I just wanted to call out. We don't need to linger on it, but that there are absolutely so many more lives being affected by these layoffs, and the industry itself is just being fully gutted, because those are the farm leagues, but the big leagues, your contractors that are trying desperately to get a full-time job. That's a path in for a lot of people in the game industry, and you've just got that path off of the knees. And again, now everyone that's laid off that wants to stay in the game industry is competing for those roles. So it's not going to be an entry level thing anymore. It's going to be survival stuff.
It's not a good industry to be in, guys. If you haven't gotten that from the last, 3 years of our podcast,
run. All right, riblets. These are little news stories, not quite enough meat on the bone for a full rib. Steam Machine engineers at Valve are saying that the memory crisis is still getting worse.
This is a disaster.
Valve engineers Yuzan Aldahayat and Pierre-Loup Graffi, I have no idea. They're talking to Schreier over at Bloomberg, and they said every Steam Machine Valve has made has already been sold. They're all gone. And this is the quote from one of them. He said, honestly, it's still getting worse. Just in case people are not aware, what people are seeing on retail shelves right now, from our observations, is lagging what we're seeing from a bulk supply by at least 3 to 6 months. I feel like that's gas prices right now.
Yeah.
Like we're just like, everyone's like, oh, well, it's not that bad. Gas only went up like 50 cents. It's like, no, because we're using all of our national reserves right now. And in a couple months, you're going to $9 gas.
Yeah.
Double-digit gas. So
I'm gonna have to buy a bicycle.
That's so cool. Well, you'll need to use a bicycle because you'll have to replace your power supply in your computer with that too. So we're gonna be using bicycles for everything, guys. Power your house, transport.
Bring the bike in, just like, kids, start pedaling. I'm gonna play video games for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. That's how else are we gonna power the metal shutters to keep the mutants out of the house. But with a bicycle rig. Nintendo,
that kid.
Nintendo says it has no legal duty to pass its U.S. tariff refunds on to consumers. Not surprising. Nintendo continues to just be as nefarious as they can. They're like Disney. It's like the Disney of video games. They're just like complete shit-heeled corporate heads. But they put out a very family-friendly product, so we sometimes forget. Nintendo's trying to get a judge to dismiss a class action lawsuit that gamers filed trying to reclaim the extra money they paid for Switch 2 due to tariffs, which Nintendo directly said this price is going up due to tariffs. And then when it went up, and then they sued. Nintendo turned around, sued the U.S. government, saying we need a refund for those tariffs, so we can double dip. And they're like, this is what they said. Nintendo's lawsuit said the plaintiffs are not entitled to a rebate simply because of intervening legal developments related to tariffs. Like, our gamers can get fucked. That's what.
Like, while that's true, like, that's really crappy.
Yeah,
especially if a company like Nintendo, who has not been struggling,
No, they're fine. They got a lot of cash on hand.
Yeah,
they
they're
just
like
want a little more cash on hand.
Yeah, they're like,
this is crazy. How many companies got a double dip on this? And it's like this is all this is. It's just a wealth transfer all the way. Just more rich people get richer. It's fucking crazy.
Feels good. It honestly feels great.
I love doing my part to make the billionaires trillionaires. That's what
Mhm.
we're here for, guys. That's what we're all
Mhm.
about. Sega has no plans to abandon physical media, and it still sees a lot of value in it. Hey, a good news story.
Well,
No, Famitsu asked Sega president and COO Shuji Utsumi about physical game software and what he was thinking about. He says, "We were originally a platform provider, and of course, we still value our physical culture. Rather than completely abandoning that, we are currently challenging ourselves to shift toward being able to think about and act on the important aspects of digital in parallel." So, I do think it makes sense. Sega runs like arcades in Japan still. They are very
yeah, like
much
they have that side of the
physical is
business.
like they're not going the way of Sony, and they're probably looking at Sony like, we're not gonna do that. Fucking crazy. Because this is something that everyone has to put their stamp on now. Everyone has to explain their position. You see what happened to Marvel's Wolverine. Everyone's demanding, like, is this going to be on a disc? Is this going to be on a disc? Like, everyone wants to know after GTA 6 is like, no, it's going to be a code. Download it or fuck off. You won't be able to help it. You won't be able to help yourself.
Mm-mm.
And so, this is just Sega drawing their line in the sand, saying, "Hey, well, Sega games until you can't, you can. You get them physical." A Blizzard GM was fired after killing bosses in the game in World of Warcraft to try to impress streamers he liked. This is a Blursty.
So
Oh,
cool.
it's
So
such a good
cool.
Blursty. This came to us a streamer called Yummy TV. He was working on a Mythic Plus dungeon, which sounds like a pretty hard dungeon in World of Warcraft. He says, I go to my GM friend and I'm like, bro, please, can you do me a solid? This thing has 20 million health, bro. Can you please just one-shot it? And so this employee at Blizzard, a Blizzard employee, logs in, uses a special developer only tool that is meant to kill, like, if people are stuck or something. This is not something you just throw out casually.
You
Just
just go out
logs
there just
in,
to do for
kills
people.
a boss for these guys, and then just that's it. And people noticed this isn't something he just, I assume, thought he could just get away with it. But Blizzard fired him. I can't imagine, like, that dude's day to day right now. He's like, I don't know if you're sleeping at night about doing something that
Like
stupid.
that's just so pointless.
Being
It's
a
so
Blizzard game
pointless.
master is like a life goal and dream for so many people.
He's like, you know what?
And
Yummy
doing this
TV
to
really wanted this.
dude, parasocial relationships with streamers are mind-boggling to me. But the idea that they stretch into the halls of Blizzard itself is hysterical.
Yeah.
This is where we're at in the game industry. This is where all the veterans are out, and you just got Riz kids. Everyone's just doing everything for the gram or the talk.
Dude, I'm
That what
surprised
they
we're
say?
not seeing this more.
No, yeah, yeah.
Or
All the
maybe it's
broccoli
happening
boys are
more, and you're just like,
yeah. We don't know. This is what video games are now. Just broccoli boys
just
running
if you
wild.
get big enough, you can beg the devs to just cheat the game for you. So
Sounds like the begging was going the other way. The other guy
yeah,
just wanted, like, he's like, can I just like rub you just like a little bit of
you
clout? I just want to see if it rubs off on me.
yeah.
I just want
No,
you
I
to like
want
me.
you to
When you
like
like
me.
me, grim.
I want you to think I'm cool.
But you think I'm cool. Only 7 games this year sold more than 100,000 copies on PlayStation 5. So
That's
again, a little
crazy.
balance to our reporting here. This is data from Circana. This is Matt Piscatella responding to a story about, like I was just mentioning, about people getting pissed at Marvel Wolverine, basically saying, well, no one voted with their wallet, so fuck you. No, it's only 7 games sold more than sold, yeah, 6 figures
More than
this year on
100,000. Yeah.
PS5. 2 PlayStation video games sold more than 10,000 physical units during the week ending in July 11th. So, yeah, like I said, but I do not think this data captures used game sales. So that's something I'm just going to add as a tag to every one of these as a disclaimer that we are not taking into account used game sales. This is just new.
Yeah.
And those 100,000 copies may be bouncing around. Who knows? Those could have been sold multiple times. Some of those could be, 200,000 because they've been sold twice. I don't know.
ban physical.
Man,
I'm finally gonna win.
I guess yeah, it's good. You win something.
No, you know what I was gonna say though? I do like the idea of that one. What's that one company you do that does like limited runs? Isn't it called Limited
Mm-hmm.
Run? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
limited run games.
Yeah, I do like that. The concept of that, like, hey, they're gonna go in and just do a limited run for a cool game. They can go in and buy.
Where are you gonna put it? You just gonna push it against the taped closed slot on your PS6?
I'll
Where are
put
you
it
gonna
in
put
my
it, bro?
Raspberry Pi.
You just put
My
it on
Raspberry Pi thing that I've built. Everything's gonna be like cobbled together at this point.
It's true.
True.
Everything, all the new consoles are gonna come as kits. You have to put it together yourself.
You have to build it.
You just had to get a kit because we're like, we can't find RAM. You gotta scab RAM yourself.
You gotta go find.
Yeah.
You get a RAM-less console.
It just literally won't work until you go
Like you
scab RAM.
need to do that, and so like you have okay. So one time at a Boeing facility, I went and visited in Mesa. They had the Apache helicopter, and the company that made the transmissions for the engine or whatever went out of business, and so Boeing purchased them and was getting things back up and running. In the meanwhile, though, the Air Force customer was still buying Apaches, right? Because they need them, but none of them fly. They had one on hand. They had one of these parts, and the Air Force customer would come. They'd put it in, test flight it, take it out, drop it, set it down, take it out, put it in the next one, test flight, and the Air Force
Look,
would
they
buy
all
them
fly one at a time.
That's what we're going to be doing.
We will sell you those helicopters, but we need to keep this part, so literally none of them will fly.
None of them fly. Yeah, so they owned a bunch of grounded stuff. That's what we're going to have. We are going to have consoles and PCs where you will have one removable RAM thing that you just
batteries.
Can I borrow
the same batteries for all 4 of your remotes because you're in college and you're not going to go buy new batteries. So I want to play my PC. I got my RAM in there, but I want to play my PlayStation 6. I rip the RAM out of this. I walk across the hall and I go put it in my
You got like one RAM thing.
Yeah, I got just
the
one
cord
RAM
coming off
stick.
it. You got like a few cord splitters, so it's plugged into 4 different machines at once.
Got RAM splitters.
Kid.
That RAM powers my whole house. Nothing works.
Can I borrow the RAM, Dad? I wanted to play just for a minute. My friends are on. Can I borrow the RAM?
That RAM costs more than your college savings account is worth. So no,
you can't.
Kudos.
All right, kudos, our positivity segment. We give shout outs to things that were good to us this week. I have 2. Do you have?
I've got one. I could do more than one, but
yours feels like Spencer's inaugural kudos. That's all I'm gonna say.
It doesn't, because I'm gonna talk about what I did.
Okay. My first kudos, quick and easy. It just goes out to Rick and Morty. I found myself for some reason or another. I don't know how. I was like 3 seasons behind. I recently did a full rewatch of everything, and I was like, wow, I love Rick and Morty. But then it just kept going. New stuff. And I was shocked by how much there was. And this is all post Justin Roiland after he was removed from the series. And they replaced his voice actors for both Rick and Morty and a bunch of other characters. And dude, it's awesome. It like A, you don't notice, and B, it's kind of fun, like having kind of a slightly different voice to it. Because I mean, honestly, like he would just show up drunk and act like an idiot all the time, and sometimes it was like funny and sometimes it wasn't. But these are all like actual professional voice actors that are taking their job seriously, and it shows. And the writing is fantastic. They're closing certain storylines that have been going on for years. They're wrapping some up. They're starting new ones. They introduce new characters. It's just good. Been yelling at Peterson because he's hasn't started it, but I think I really want him to start it so that I can actually have someone to talk to about it, because yeah, it's been really good. So if you guys are like me,
I did start a rewatch, and I started at season 6 maybe.
Oh, okay.
So
I started all the way at the beginning, and I was like,
I've seen the beginning stuff a few times.
That's why I was like, oh my god, I watched these so many times.
So
because that's why I instantly recognized that I was in new stuff, because I was like, oh, I haven't seen this 50 times.
Yep. So I'm on like season 6, which I think is one of the weaker seasons, but Yeah, I'm in that one. So I'm
keep me
kind just kind of
posted.
going.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this week was a busy week for me, and I'm just gonna like talk about these every time. But I went to 2 different concerts this week. And very different vibes for both of them, but I will say each time we have just had an absolute blast. So the first one we went to see Jimmy Eat World, which is one of my favorites from
Yeah.
the early 2000s. Love those guys. I knew almost every single song they played. They're touring right now doing their Bleed American album, which is the album that like the middle was on, you know, that was the one that got them really big.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, we're playing the hits. Will you please give us money?
and like it was an outdoor venue, not a huge venue, but it was so fun. Absolutely loved it. They were touring with Motion City Soundtrack, if you know them, who honestly killed it as well. They were very good. But you can tell these guys are getting a little older. The lead singer had a cane.
Oh,
And I'm like,
I don't think
"Nah,
I
this
want to.
just."
I'm not ready to see that. I
I
don't
mean,
want to
he's
see
not a
that.
super old guy. He's
Mhm.
just like, you know,
I don't
probably
care.
some sort of medical thing, but it was kind of funny.
I
Sometimes
wanna
he'd
see
put
your
it
cane.
down and then he'd pick it up and be like, "Oh, he's got a cane. That's fun." But no, they both of those bands killed it. And then a couple days later, we went to go see Evanescence. Um, which I didn't think Evanescence was that big, right? Because I remember them having one hit song.
Oh,
Yeah. Wake me up, wake me up. I'm gonna wake up. Yeah. Save me.
Did you know I knew all the words?
Yeah, I didn't know. That was impressive. So I didn't think so like that one was at the USANA Amphitheater in West Jordan, right? I didn't think it was gonna be that big, right? Couple metal bands open for them. They were like real heavy. JD, the concert was packed at USANA. I have never
That
seen
does
it
not
like
surprise
this.
me. Evanescence was not big with you and I were not the target market for
No,
Evanescence.
and there was a lot of people who were just a tiny bit older. There's a lot of younger people. Everyone was in all black. It
You're
was
describing the target
crazy
market. Yep.
though. It
Heavy
was
eyeliner,
yeah. Oh,
white
just so
camisole,
much. I mean, there were people with like
low-rise
fully white
jeans,
makeup, on their
Vans,
faces, and like
or any other kind of skater shoes.
it was
That's the pro, and they spend all their money at Hot Topic.
yeah.
That's the Evanescence
It was
crowd.
the alternative crowd, really, is like, you know, if you were gonna put it that way. But like
Yeah.
honestly, so much fun. I mean, I know, like I said, maybe 2 Evanescence songs, but I will say, I mean, what I like to do when I see live music, I just like to hear them performing live and see, you know, like how talented they are. And the lead singer for Evanescence is incredible. Genuinely, she was amazing. The whole time we were just like,
Still
she's
belting.
freaking awesome.
We've been doing this forever.
She's so good. And it was so much fun. The concert was a blast. And that's, I mean, I think I've told you like this year we've been trying to go more concerts, more shows, more like seeing live things. And I can't promote that enough. Even like the Jimmy Eat World concert was not very expensive. You can find cheaper concerts. Like it has just been so much fun to just get out
Are you
and
usually
go to a
sitting,
show.
or are you like down in the pit?
No, I'm too old for that. Like we're up in the grass section with a blanket, and then
And
like you're
like a
standing the whole time.
basket. You
A
got like
no
a little
basket.
lunch. You got like a little bottle of wine,
Yeah, and then just sit back there.
napkins, like
Usually,
a
like the
charcuterie
opening
board,
bands is when you're sitting, and then the main band comes up and you don't sit again. Like
maybe some
everyone's standing
flavored
the whole time.
popcorn,
Yeah, just sitting there, little snacks. You can rent a lawn chair. I didn't,
goldfish.
but honestly, so good. Guys, if you have a chance, just go in and look periodically. Go in and look at who's coming, where you're at in your location, and just go to something this year because it has
You ever
been.
been to Red Butte?
No, I haven't. I would
Going
love
up to a
to,
Red
though.
Butte concert next or in September.
You are? That would
The
be fun.
national parks is what they're called.
Dude, it's just fun. Even if it's not your type of music. Like, I don't listen to heavy metal, and like those bands before, I was like, this is fun. This is a good time. Like, I'm just really, really enjoying it. So, guys, do that, please. That is my kudos. Like, check it out and go do it. Also, Evanescence was incredible. Like, genuinely incredible.
a sneaky kudos to Evanescence and go rewatch 2003's Daredevil with Ben Affleck.
Why?
Jess-
Was that a song in it?
Yeah, that was like the song when
I've
Jennifer
actually
Garner
never
as
seen that
Elektra was
movie.
dancing around and doing some like scene with what are those stabby knives that one of the Ninja Turtles uses?
Katana.
No.
Sai, that little 3-pronged one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dancing around stabbing punching bags.
Mm.
And that's just like
I've
that
never
song's
seen that
just
movie.
ripping.
Mm.
You're so lucky because you don't have to.
Yeah.
You can go your whole life without having seen it. I'm gonna
Anyway,
send you
guys,
that scene, though.
I'm gonna watch it.
Anyways,
guys,
watch the whole
so
movie.
it was so good. Genuinely, it was so good. So
Nice.
do that.
Concerts.
I had a good time. I had a good time this week.
My last kudos goes out to Smash Burger restaurant in San Francisco that I had. It is out of the way. It's going to be out of the way. Even if you visit San Francisco regularly, this will be out of the way for you. I promise. It's called Mylards. Maillards. Mylards, like mallards with an I in there. Which their logo is a duck. But it is the best smash burger I've ever had in my life.
Oh, they look super good. I just looked at a picture and I was like, okay.
They started out as a just like a food truck kind of a thing, not even a food truck, on Sundays only at a market, and they got so big that they opened up a brick and mortar. They share a building with a brewery, and they had some of the best beers I've ever had in my life. Oh my God, it was just so good, you guys. It was so good. I don't know how to describe. Like, it was, I took my brother there and he was talking all this shit because we had to take a 40-minute Uber drive to get there. And he was like yakking the whole time. And he took one bite and just shut up. He's like, oh, okay. I take it all back.
Really?
It
looks good.
It is incredible.
Okay.
And, for like what it was and a bunch of beers, like it was like $40 for the both of us. And we got fries and all the sauces. We did it up. So it was actually pretty cheap for a San Francisco, like trendy smash burger. The line was out the door, of course, but it wasn't like waiting for a club because we got in line. The line was about 10-15 minutes to order, and my brother went and got us beers. So we sat there and sipped beers in the line, ordered, sat down at the table with the buzzer. By the time we finished our beers, the burgers were ready. Went and grabbed a couple, grabbed the beers and the burgers and ate, and it was just perfect. If you guys are there, if you love smash burgers as much as me, first of all, let me know because I don't think anyone does. But second of all, you should go to Mylards. It's the best burger in San Francisco. It's the best one I've ever had.
Well, really? Dang. I mean, they look good, but burgers are burgers.
Yeah, you say that. You say that. You just been playing too much Mega Bonk. This anti-burger thing coming out of that game.
That is true. That is true.
Hate burgers.
Like, I don't want the burger.
I hate burgers. There's too many burgers. Won't even eat them.
I've got something on radar.
Yeah, so what games are on your radar? Like, what games do you have that aren't out yet that you've been looking at for a long time? What do you have on your GameDar?
All right, we're doing it.
Nope, you always start, but there's one more ping.
Oh, sorry. We said we're going to do this. One of our listeners, somebody shouted out, take your credit. We'll give it to you, but I've forgotten who suggested we start doing this. And we're going to start doing this at the beginning of every month or before the beginning of every month. We're going to go through the games that are coming out that month that we're interested in, that we're looking at, that are maybe not on our GameDar, but that are on the.
They're like coming out. It's coming out.
Yeah. So we've got a couple. If you guys, this is just another pitch. If you guys haven't heard, we do stream all of our episodes on YouTube for the most part. And if you guys want to see what we are talking about, you can always jump on and
hop on our YouTube stream live, and you can watch it later, I guess.
But what we'll be doing here is we're going to just kind of go through each of these games, watch the trailers, kind of talk about them a little bit. And that's going to be it. Are you going to throw this up or what?
Yeah, it's in a blank right. It's showing blank.
You're showing blank.
I'm not showing blank. I'm right here.
No, you are showing
I'm right here, Jonathan.
All right, first game is called Beast of Reincarnation.
August 4th.
Is out August 4th. Yep, on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. It looks like it's a action RPG. It's I like this one. It's set 2,000 years in the future. You don't get a lot of those. Made by Game Freak. These are the guys that make Pokemon, and it's set in 4026. And I'm of course interested because your friend is a stray dog.
Yep, you gotta
This
have.
doesn't take a
If it's in the
genius.
future, you gotta have a dog.
Yeah, and this one looks like a husky with like a I don't know, something's on its butt. Either it's got a robot tail or a magic tail,
He's a future dog,
but
okay?
he's like comes up to your character's shoulders, which is my dream of every dog, is that it's that big.
You want him bigger?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine my dogs at that size? Like you come in and they're like right there, right at your eye
guess
level.
what? I'm not a tall guy, so they're right there anyway. Okay, so
Yeah, they're pretty high. Yeah,
this
so
is how I
imagine if they were-
feel.
Dude,
what
the
you're
dog has
describing.
like something growing on its butt. It looks so cool.
He
So
looks like
this
the
is-
tail is changeable because it was just flowers and stuff.
Oh, maybe it's like what powers it has. So this is gonna be like, if you like Elden Ring, those types of games. I mean, this isn't gonna be that hard. Maybe more Ghost of Tsushima kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
It looks like it could be cool. Beast of Reincarnation, again, out August 4th. And looks kind of sick. Oh, there's a cute dog that stinks. It's so
You see the
wet.
little plant tail.
Oh, this
It's got
looks
plant tail.
cute. Next up here is a game called Big Walk.
Big walk.
Big Walk showed up on my radar via Kua right there. This is made by House. I saw the name and I was like, these are the guys that made Goose Game.
Oh, I was like, who made House? What did they make?
Yeah, they made Untitled Goose Game, and it is a co-op game. You play with people, and from what I understand, it's not like it's just like to stick around. Like there's obviously objectives, but it's kind of the similar vibe to Goose Game, where it's like, yeah, just gotta take your time and do whatever
Let's
you're.
figure this out.
Yeah, just work on it together as buddies. It looks goofy as hell. It's kind of like the characters look like very, very low fidelity Pixar stand-ins, but the backgrounds are all like pretty high def.
A little bit better.
Fun. And so yeah, you're just solving puzzles. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't like this term. I don't like the negative connotations of the term friend slop. I do like having a name for these types of games.
Okay.
And it just seems to fit. I don't think it's fair to call this game slop. I would never call a game that Hello made.
Yeah, I don't know
Or
if
House.
I mean, are they calling it friend slop? I don't think
No.
it's
No.
friend slop is more like those viral.
So what are you
games.
calling these? But this is like there are games like this where you're just goofing with your
Yeah.
friends and
I don't know. Maybe.
but it's not like a hardcore like shooter sim or something
No, it
where
looks
you're all like
super not serious at
you
all.
just, it's not a serious game. You goof around and you probably like laugh a bunch. What is
try to
that
figure stuff
genre? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know what friend slop is. I know this isn't friend slop, but I would love to have
Yeah.
a name for this because somehow co-op, multiplayer, none of those seem to
It doesn't communicate like
what
the
this
vibe
is.
of this. And I'd say friend slop kind of has that does have that like more indie vibe where it's like this
Yeah.
little indie game. Oh my gosh.
See, it's funny.
Yeah.
It
I
looked-
don't like that they're always bouncing just as slightly. I don't like that.
Makes you a little queasy.
Like
Then
what,
you would have
stop
hated
bouncing?
Mouse PI because your everything is just this all the time, including
Why-
your
look.
character and everything.
Why are they always moving? Just slow down a little bit. Anyways, it looks like puzzles. You're solving puzzles with your friends as these weird little characters.
Yeah.
It looks like it could be fun.
Looks like it could be fun.
Yeah.
A lot
What's
of
it
friends
called?
slop.
Big walk.
Big Walk. Again, that one's also out on August 4th. This one's weird. It's out on PlayStation. No, yep, it's out on PlayStation and Switch, not Xbox. Yes, PC. And as a surprise, it's also out on Mac OS. So you Mac gamers rejoice. They're looking out for you. I don't know why.
Hey.
But Xbox just got the shaft on this one. I don't know. I don't get it. But it definitely looks like you could have a lot of fun playing this one. So that's called Big Walk. Next up here is a little more traditional game. This is Hell Let Loose Vietnam. Are you familiar with this series?
Yes, I love Hell Let Loose.
Okay, tell me about it,
so
because
much.
when I was under the impression it was like a military fantasy, or like you're shooting demons, but no, it's just like
No.
a tactical 50v50
Yeah.
kind of like Battlefield.
Yeah, 50 on 50, but they're like it's very objective based, and it's slow. It's not like Battlefield. It's a little bit
Yeah.
slower. You die a lot easier. Where you're going in. I played a lot of Hell Let Loose 2, I think. It was a World War II one. And I loved it. I loved it. I bet I put over 100 hours in it. And it is, it's a military objective team-based thing. So you actually have a squad leader who will be telling you what to do. He will be on comms telling you what to do.
This is a real person?
Yeah, a real person how do
they get
designated
appointed
as the squad leader.
Oh, they're just designated.
Usually they opt in. They opt in for it. Not everyone wants to do it because it is like,
wow,
you have a lot
real
to do.
life. Yeah,
you're paying attention, but you're trying not to die and your squad leader's like, everyone go in now. Everyone go to objective A now. I want you to rush it. The squad leaders are working together.
Dude.
There will be like 5 squad leaders, and they're on their own chat working together, and then they will communicate to their squadron.
Okay, that sounds awesome as fuck.
It's really fun. I don't love Vietnam theme. It feels
weird.
It doesn't feel as
Vietnam like Nazis.
Yes, I
don't like killing villagers that are defending their homes.
Although it did feel funny at playing as the Nazis, and then you'd win, and like your Nazi celebration songs are playing, like your German celebration songs.
And you're just kind of sitting there quietly, like, wow, this doesn't feel good.
And then, like, I feel like this one will be worse. There's so many really, really horrible stories from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like I know they're all wars have horrible stories, but for some reason Vietnam felt worse. And so I'm not.
It was our first real icky war.
I'm not a huge fan of this. Like, I don't love that it's Vietnam. I don't doubt that it will be so much fun because
they were really excited to do this. The developers in interviews talked about how psyched they were because they're like, no one does Vietnam, and I think it's because they're like, whoa, what's been so long? And I think it's because what you're saying, whereas it just feels a wee bit icky.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's out on August 13th on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. That's Hell Let Loose Vietnam. The next one that's coming out on August 18th is The Sinking City 2. This is the follow-up. You remember the long, drawn-out drama that went into the first one, where it was like Something Frog was the studio behind it, and then
I vaguely remember. Something.
I don't remember what it was, but I remember there being some things that kind of bespoiled the original release. This one, they're coming out, they're trying it again. There's none of that nonsense. I don't think it's going to be mind-blowing, but I think for people who are big fans of Lovecraft stuff, you can do better than this, because it's like an open world survival horror kind of thing, semi-open world. You're this guy in the city of Arkham, which is the made-up city that H.P. Lovecraft made up for a lot of spooky shit to happen. It's like Stephen King with Derry. And it's like sunk underwater, and there's spooky shit, and you're hallucinating, and you're going crazy like everyone in a Lovecraft novel. And I don't know. Looks like it's just not my scene, not my cup of tea.
No, but I feel like there's definitely an audience for this. And these games have been doing pretty well lately, these types of games.
Yeah.
So
there isn't, like you said, there's an audience for them. And some people are really, really excited about it. So,
Patrick was bringing it up in the chat right before you did. He's like, Sinking City is like in the chat. So,
so that comes out August 18th, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. It looks like they were originally thinking about 2025, so they whiffed that a little bit. Still though, it looks good.
I wonder how
Looks
it'll do.
creepy.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully it does better than the first one. And then our last one coming out in August is coming out August 27th. Star Wars Zero Company.
What is this one again?
Feels like a
I
throwback. It's an EA game.
Oh,
It's
I
basically
remember.
XCOM Star Wars. In fact, there is a bit of
I'm
a
into that,
pedigree among
actually.
the developers that goes back to XCOM. Like one of the former somethings is like a something on this that used to work on XCOM. So you're going to see some similar bones, I would say, in the structure of this game. If you did like XCOM, for you guys that aren't familiar with the
I do like
tactical
those.
kind of gameplay, this is imagine you have a squad and your players are on a grid or a game board, and there's cover and there's ways to move around. Say moving 3 squares costs 3 points and shooting costs 1 point. So you have 4 points. You can
Mhm.
move 3 squares and hide and then shoot something. So that's essentially an gross oversimplification.
Yeah. And
this
then
type
like
of
all the
game.
different guys will have different strategies and different weapons.
Yep, and you can
I-
kit out your guys before you go and then try again if you can't finish a mission. It's like, oh, I aim at this guy at this angle and it's got a 20% chance of hitting him. Those types
Okay,
of
I
things.
am interested in this one. I do
Yeah,
like
it's
these games
EA.
a lot.
You remember really struggled and they're like, we got to get some Star Wars shit out there because they camped on the
Mhm.
license and did nothing for 10 years. And then Disney started throwing that license out everywhere. EA felt the pinch, really doubled down, canceled some games that they were working on. This was one that didn't get canceled, one that they doubled down on as feasible, gettable, and it looks good. I mean, you can't go wrong with this format, this formula here, which is like you've got Star Wars characters, Star Wars
Mhm.
weapons, all the classic stuff. But you don't have to, and everything is like an animation. Everything is like a pre-existing animation, so you don't need to worry about it like working live because it's turn-based. That's the one thing I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
This is a turn-based game, so it's slow.
Turn-based
And
strategy, cover, tactical. Yeah.
there's droids, there's drones, there's clones, there's Jedi. It's during the Clone Wars. It's set during the Clone Wars, so it's all the best action that you can imagine. You get a squad, you go fuck shit up. It looks dope. It does look dope. I'm concerned. I'm pretty sure actually it's going to be $80.
It's 50. I'm looking.
Oh,
at
no shit.
Yeah, it's not too bad. These types
Okay.
of games, these types of games usually are not full priced because they're not.
This looks like it's worth $50.
Yeah,
Because some people will play ungodly amounts of this game and some people will beat the campaign and never play it again. So
yeah, and that's typically how these go. Like you play the campaign, and like that's what I do. I play the campaign and probably don't play again.
yeah. So Star Wars Zero Company, right at the end of the trailer, I think we saw Anakin. That's
Mhm.
tight. That's tight. There's going to be some fan service in this one. So those are the
I'm
games on our
excited. I just
GameDar.
wishlisted it.
Nice. For August 2026. Any that we missed? Jump on our Discord. Tell us what we missed.
No,
That's
that
what we're
was every single game that is going to come out
Those are
in.
the only ones that matter, though. So don't be stupid. Don't try to do our jobs for us. We're bad enough at it.
Yeah,
as it
this
is.
honestly, it's not even a job. Like we're just doing this because we like it.
Yeah,
so.
because at a job, you get fired if you do a bad job. And we can't seem to do that here.
Nobody's fired us yet. It's crazy.
Dice of destiny.
Oh, of course, Patrick had the skinny on this. He said on the Sinking City, which we vaguely remembered. He said it was made by Frogwares, who had made Sherlock Holmes adventure games, so that's a cool fit. And their games tended to have a bit of jank, but they put care in their games. And the publisher basically tried to steal the game from Frogwares.
I remember it. I briefly remember.
Yeah, I think it was in the
Blur.
Blursties. So
Yeah.
I think we did talk about that a bit. That's fantastic. Patrick says they can demote us. What do we get demoted to? Is it one where we don't do the podcast anymore, or is that position not available?
AI Peterson.
Trent made one. Both of us. We should just let the AIs do the so.
Honestly, just let him do a segment would be pretty fun.
Can't do worse than us. All right, Dice of Destiny is this game we play at the end of every episode. We roll some dice that tell us what game to play, what game genre to pick a game from. And last week I rolled a $20 zombie game. promptly removed zombie from the board.
He
forever.
did. He's like, I hop on and he's like, all right, here's the thing, Peterson. Zombies
gone.
coming off. Like
It's gone.
And honestly, I was
I'll
looking
do
through
this
it.
one.
There are good zombie games.
Mhm.
We've played them.
We played.
You know
them
what
all.
I'm saying? Like, and
Everyone's
that's how I
been
felt
played.
like with Western. Kind of felt the same way. Like there are good Western games, and we've played them. You know what I mean?
There's not a ton here that I worry. I think after we took off Western, we took off a couple, and we took off zombies. I'm looking at the board here. I don't think there's any that are going to be that we're gonna have this run into this again. Maybe no, because fighting. There's always new fighting games.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
mean, there'll be genres that
stealth.
we don't
That one's
super
gonna be
super
tough.
love, but
But genres that are empty.
the
Where
theme
there's
ones,
nothing.
the theme ones, some are very, very, very hit or miss, and more often or not are miss.
Yeah,
You
so
know
we've
what I
gotten
mean?
rid of most of the themes. They're
Yeah.
all like types of games now, game genres.
Yeah.
Maybe horror is one of the few.
If we want to
that's
add
left.
another theme, we can always do that. If you guys want to suggest a theme we add, go ahead
Yeah.
and do that. But like,
But otherwise,
sometimes it
F
feels
off.
a
I don't
little
want to do
thin.
zombies. I hate it.
it feels a little thin sometimes.
Yeah. So I didn't do it. I won't do it.
Do it to it.
So I did find one though, you guys. I did my job. I even found one that was the right price. And I picked a game called, and this one just came out in April. It's called The Spotter Dig or Die. I don't know what to think about this game. It seems
It looks like it could be fun. Like it does look like it could be fun.
You guys remember that game, Dig a Hole, the hole game or whatever? A game about digging a hole. That's kind of
Yeah.
like the digging mechanic in this. Like you just dig in an area, I guess, and make a base.
Dig and try to find stuff, and,
And then you go into the city and loot, and then at night you defend from zombies. I think that's the loop,
Mhm.
but it is got some pretty good reviews. It's 85% positive overall. With 1,700 reviews, it came out in April. It's made by a developer called Puppy Roar Games, so I like that a lot.
Puppy
And
Roar.
it was on sale. In fact, it's on sale for just itself. It was like $9 and something.
Yeah.
It was $9.74, but if I bought it in a bundle, it ended up being even cheaper.
Nice.
So I bought a bundle and got an extra game out of it. So the Spotter Dig or Die, I don't know. I'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know.
I'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll dig or I'll die. And I don't know.
Mm.
Well, that's it. We did it, and it was short. You're welcome.
We did pretty good. Ooh, 112. That's pretty good for us.
Everyone that hates this podcast is like, oh, thank God. I don't know why you guys still listen, but
They hate listen.
We still count those. We still
They
count
still
those.
count it. Yeah.
Yeah, they count on our stats. We send those to Crave, and they're
Because
like,
they love
wow.
Crave cookies, and they're like, I
And they
gotta...
leave the podcast on accidentally. That's
Mhm.
most of our listeners, honestly.
Mhm, mhm.
Plays out. We got music from the Batman animated series, the OG Batman. That's, I guess, not the OG, just Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
This is the theme by that creepster Danny Elfman. I started watching this after I finished Rick and Morty. I started watching this shit because I was on HBO already.
Yeah.
Guys, it is so choice. It completely holds up, and it's the baseline for so many of the series that followed. Justice League, Superman animated series, Batman Beyond, spin-offs like Project Zeta, Static Shock. All of them they are connected to this. This is like an MCU kind of vibe. This is the Iron Man, the animated DC universe. It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks to Patrick, Raul, Abby, and Phil for hopping on. Good time. I'm JD. Logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK.